There comes a moment in every person's life when they pause and wonder why certain things haven't happened yet, why some dreams take longer, or why the path sometimes bends instead of opening in a straight line. And it's in that very moment of questioning that a powerful truth whispers, life has never failed you, it has only been preparing you. Nothing in this universe is random, and nothing meant for you has ever missed you. The timing of your life is not measured by your impatience, but by your readiness, your alignment, and the energy you carry toward what you desire. If you look back even briefly, you will realize that some of the best things you've ever received came exactly when you needed them, not when you wanted them. And that is where the miracle of divine timing begins. Divine timing is the quiet, unseen orchestration happening beneath the surface of your everyday life. It is the gentle arrangement of circumstances, opportunities, people, and lessons that prepare the soil of your mind before the seeds of your desires finally bloom. When you trust what you cannot yet see, you unlock a deeper power, the ability to stay anchored in faith even when the outer world seems unchanged. Many people seek manifestation through force, through impatience, through demanding that life obey their schedule. But manifestation is not about forcing, it is about aligning. It is a dance between your inner state and the universal intelligence that governs everything. One of the greatest misunderstandings on the journey of self-growth is believing that delays mean failure. But every delay is a divine detour, a repositioning. Sometimes you're being held back because the version of you that exists right now cannot hold the blessing you're asking for. You're being shaped, strengthened, purified, and expanded. Life is not punishing you, it is preparing you. Divine timing asks for trust, not blind trust, but conscious trust. The kind of trust that says, even if I don't see it yet, I know something is unfolding for me. I know something is aligning behind the scenes. And you've experienced this before. Think about the people you met unexpectedly who changed your life. Think about the moments that felt like coincidences, but turned out to be life-shifting. Think about the opportunities that appeared at the exact moment you needed them. That is divine timing moving silently, carrying you toward what belongs to you. The universe has never been late. It has never shown up a moment too soon or a moment too late. It always delivers exactly what matches your vibration. Trusting divine timing means surrendering the timeline you created in your mind. It means releasing the illusion that you are supposed to have everything figured out by a certain age, a certain year, or a certain moment. Life does not follow your deadlines, it follows your alignment. And to trust this process is not passive, it is powerful. It means choosing peace over panic, alignment over anxiety, and faith over force. Most people try to manifest from a place of doubt. They ask for something while holding the belief that it may not happen. But divine timing responds to certainty, not fear. When you trust that everything is already working out for you, your vibration rises, your energy shifts, and your desires begin to flow toward you with less resistance. The irony is that when you stop rushing, life rushes toward you. When you stop forcing, things fall into place. When you stop doubting, you start attracting. This moment right now is part of your timing. You are not behind. You are not late. You are exactly where the universe needs you to be so that the next chapter of your life can open at the perfect moment. And if you can trust the unseen, if you can trust the divine intelligence that has carried you this far, you will realize that divine timing has never failed you, and it never will. Divine timing is not about luck, coincidence, or chance. It is about energetic readiness. You don't receive what you want simply because you want it. You receive it when you become aligned with it. The universe is always listening, always responding, and always guiding you toward what matches your inner state. When people say, "Why hasn't this happened for me yet?" the answer is rarely found in the external world. The answer is within their energy. You attract not with your wishes, but with your frequency. And timing is the universe's way of placing what you desire into your life at the exact moment you can hold it, honor it, and grow with it. Imagine trying to harvest fruit from a tree that has just been planted. No matter how much you wish, hope, or pull on the branches, The fruit won't appear before its season, not because the tree is denying you, but because the fruit requires its own time to mature. Your manifestations work the same way. What you desire is already growing, already forming, already aligning with you, but it will arrive only when the version of you capable of receiving it has emerged. You may not realize it, but every challenge, delay, or detour is shaping you into someone who can receive what you once could not. Many blessings require emotional maturity, spiritual understanding, or inner strength before they can fully enter your life. Sometimes you have to lose something, learn something, or let go of someone to rise into the vibration of what you're asking for. The universe is not withholding your blessings, it is preparing you for them. There are moments when you ask for love, but you still carry old wounds. Moments when you ask for abundance, but you still operate from scarcity. Moments when you ask for opportunities, but you are not yet confident enough to seize them. The universe sees the entire path, while you see only today. It knows what each desire requires. It knows the version of you that can hold the blessing without losing yourself. So when something takes time, it is not rejection, it is refinement. Divine timing also protects you. There are things you think you want that would limit you, distract you, or derail you. If they arrive too soon, there are paths you would have chosen that were not meant for your growth. And so the universe gently redirects you. It closes doors that aren't aligned. It removes people who drain your energy. It reshapes your environment to match the life you're trying to manifest. What feels like loss in the moment is often protection in disguise. When you trust this process, life becomes more peaceful. You stop comparing your timeline to others. You stop panicking when things take longer than expected. You stop doubting your worth based on temporary delays. Instead, you begin to understand that everything is moving toward you in perfect alignment, at the perfect speed, in the perfect season. Divine timing never fails because the universe never rushes and never hesitates. It delivers when your energy, your belief, your actions, and your inner self stand in harmony. When you shift from impatience to trust, from fear to faith, from forcing to aligning, you create a powerful opening. And in that opening, everything meant for you begins to flow effortlessly. There is a deep frustration many people feel when their desires don't show up quickly. They begin to question themselves, doubt the process, and sometimes even abandon their dreams. But what they rarely see is that an unanswered desire is not a denial, it is a divine recalibration. When something doesn't happen immediately, it is because the universe is arranging circumstances in ways you cannot yet comprehend. Every delay has a purpose, and every pause contains wisdom. The truth is, if everything you asked for arrived the moment you asked, you would never develop patience, strength, resilience, or understanding. You would never learn to appreciate the journey. You would never become the person who can hold the blessing. The universe is not in the business of temporary gifts, it is in the business of permanent transformation. And permanent transformation always requires time. Not because the universe is slow, but because your energy, mindset, and inner being must evolve to match the magnitude of what you're calling in. Consider the times in your life when you desperately wanted something, only to look back later and realize you weren't ready for it at all. You may have wanted a relationship before you healed, a success before you learned discipline, an opportunity before you built confidence, or abundance before you changed your limiting beliefs. The universe waits for your readiness because receiving something before you've grown into it can become a burden instead of a blessing. Timing is protection. There is also another hidden layer. The universe often needs to rearrange people, circumstances, and events so that you arrive at the right moment for the right opportunity. Sometimes the job you want is tied to someone else resigning. Sometimes the relationship you desire requires the other person to grow, heal, or evolve. Sometimes the home, business, or dream you want is being prepared behind the scenes. Life is a series of interconnected threads, and the universe ensures each thread aligns before delivering the final picture. When manifestations take time, doubt becomes the biggest obstacle. Doubt pulls you out of alignment. Doubt lowers your vibration. Doubt sends a signal that says, I'm not sure I deserve this. And the universe responds to your dominant energy, not your fleeting wish. That is why impatience slows the process while trust accelerates it. When you trust the timing of your life, you vibrate from a place of certainty, and certainty attracts what you desire faster. People often misunderstand waiting. Waiting is not passive. Waiting is an energetic state. It is the willingness to stay aligned even when the physical evidence has not yet appeared. It is the willingness to hold the vision without clinging to the outcome. It is the willingness to let the seed grow beneath the soil, even when you cannot see the roots forming. What you call a delay might actually be the most important part of your manifestation, because it shapes you into the person who becomes magnetically aligned with what you desire. You are not denied. You are being prepared. You are being refined. You are being strengthened. Everything takes the time it needs, and nothing arrives a moment early. And when the blessing finally appears, you won't remember the waiting with frustration. You will remember it with gratitude, because you will see how perfectly everything aligned. You will understand why the universe didn't bring it sooner. Divine timing is never late. It is always right on schedule. Even when your impatience tells you otherwise, the things you are waiting for are not delayed, they are being perfected, and so are you. One of the most comforting truths about the universe is that it never leaves you without guidance. Even when you think you're alone, even when you doubt the path, even when you question whether your manifestation is on its way, life sends signs. These signs are synchronicities, and they are the universe's way of whispering, you're not off track. You're closer than you think. The more you trust, the more signs appear. Synchronicities are not coincidences. Coincidences are unintentional. Synchronicities are intentional. They are the alignment between your inner energy and the external world. When your inner world begins to shift, your thoughts, your beliefs, your frequency, the universe mirrors it back to you through meaningful patterns. This is why you may start seeing repeated numbers, repeated messages, repeated symbols, or repeated opportunities. These repeating patterns are not random, they are guidance. You might see angel numbers like 111, 222, or 440, 44 at moments when you are thinking about your dreams. This is the universe validating your thoughts. You might hear a phrase that matches exactly what you needed to hear. You might meet someone who says something that answers a question you were silently struggling with. You might have a sudden intuition to go somewhere, call someone, start something, or stop something. This is guidance, this is alignment, this is divine timing speaking to you in the language of synchronicity. Many people miss these signs because they expect guidance to appear dramatically. But the universe speaks softly, it speaks gently. It speaks through subtle nudges, intuitive whispers, and quiet feelings. When you slow down enough to notice, you begin to realize that life is constantly communicating with you. The timing of events, the flow of conversations, the opportunities that show up unexpectedly, these are all signs that you are moving in the right direction. Synchronicities become stronger when your vibration rises. When you operate from gratitude, trust, and alignment, you become more connected to the universal field. You begin to notice things others overlook. You begin to feel guided even in silence. You begin to recognize that nothing is accidental. And as you grow spiritually, synchronicities shift from being occasional surprises to becoming a natural part of your daily experience. Another powerful form of synchronicity is the feeling of inner knowing, that quiet certainty inside you that says, this is right for me. It may not make sense logically, it may not align with what others think, but it resonates with your soul. The universe often speaks through intuition long before it speaks through physical signs. Intuition is the inner compass that aligns you with divine timing. Sometimes synchronicity comes in the form of obstacles. A closed door is a form of guidance. A failed plan is a form of redirection. What doesn't happen is just as meaningful as what does. When something is blocked, it is not rejection. It is protection from a path that does not align with your highest timeline. When you face resistance, ask yourself, is this the universe telling me to wait or to redirect? Often the answer reveals itself through repeated signs. As you continue on your manifestation journey, understand this: synchronicities are the universe's reassurance that your desire is already on its way. They are not random, they are evidence. They are the footprints of divine timing. When you learn to notice them, trust them, and follow them, life becomes easier. You stop doubting, you stop forcing, you stop chasing. Instead, you start flowing. The signs were never missing. You simply needed to become aware enough to see them. And now that you are, the universe will speak to you more clearly, more frequently, and more powerfully than ever before. Alignment is not something you stumble into, it's something you choose intentionally. Divine timing can only flow when you stop resisting life and begin allowing it. Most people try to manifest by controlling every detail, by forcing outcomes, or by stressing about things they cannot change. But the universe does not respond to force, it responds to energy. The moment you shift from trying to control everything to trusting that everything is being taken care of, your entire reality begins to rearrange itself. The first step toward alignment is detachment from the how. The how is not your job, it belongs to the universe. Your job is the what and the why. Why do you want this? What are you calling in? When you spend your energy obsessing over how something will happen, you tighten your vibration, you build resistance, you create friction between you and your desire. But when you release the need to know how, life finds ways to surprise you with ease. Some of the best things you will ever receive will arrive through paths you could have never predicted. Another pillar of alignment is gratitude. Gratitude instantly elevates your vibration. It moves you into a state of receiving. You cannot attract abundance from a mindset of lack, and you cannot attract blessings while complaining about delays. Gratitude anchors you in the present moment and reminds you that everything you desire is already aligning, even if you cannot see it yet. Gratitude is not a reaction to blessings. It is the energy that creates them. When you start appreciating what you have, you naturally attract more to appreciate. Alignment also requires intentional action, not desperate action, not fearful action, but inspired action. This is the difference between forcing and flowing. Forced action drains your energy and pushes you out of alignment. Inspired action feels natural, uplifting, and effortless. It is the action that arises from intuition rather than fear. When you are aligned, you don't chase, you attract. And the actions you take feel like part of a greater unfolding, not a frantic attempt to control the outcome. Another essential part of alignment is releasing old stories. Many people hold limiting beliefs they don't even realize are blocking their manifestations. Beliefs like, I'm not ready, I don't deserve this, or things never work out for me. These beliefs operate silently in the background, pulling your energy downward. To align with divine timing, you must let go of the past version of yourself, the version that doubted, feared, hesitated, or settled. You are stepping into a new reality, and that requires a new identity. Surrender is another powerful dimension of alignment. Surrender does not mean giving up. It means letting go of resistance. It means trusting that what is meant for you will never require force, and what is not meant for you will never stay, no matter how much you try to hold on to it. Surrender allows life to flow through you instead of against you. It allows desires to manifest naturally, without anxiety or pressure. When you surrender, you create space. Space for clarity, space for guidance, space for miracles. And finally, alignment requires faith. Not blind faith, but embodied faith. The kind of faith that says, I don't need to know when or how, I just know it's happening. Faith is the vibration that opens doors that effort alone cannot. It is the energy that bridges the gap between where you are and where you want to be. When you trust deeply, you elevate your frequency, and when your frequency rises, everything aligned with that higher vibration naturally moves toward you. To align with divine timing is to step into the version of yourself who already believes in the inevitability of your blessings. It is to speak, behave, and think from the energy of someone who knows that what is meant for them is already on the way. And when you embody that energy fully, divine timing flows not as a mystery, but as a natural expression of your alignment. There is a profound peace that comes over you when you realize that nothing in your life has ever worked against you. Everything, every delay, every detour, every heartbreak, every shift was pushing you closer to where you were meant to be. You may not have understood it at the time, but now you can look back and see the hidden order, the closed doors that protected you, the endings that freed you, the pauses that shaped you, the challenges that strengthened you. Everything unfolded exactly as it needed to so that you could evolve into the person you are becoming. You were never abandoned, you were never forgotten, you were never overlooked. The universe does not operate on human schedules, but it is always precise. What is meant for you does not rush because it cannot be taken away, and what is not meant for you cannot be forced to stay. Life aligns itself with your energy, your growth, and your readiness. When something takes longer than expected, it is because something greater is preparing behind the scenes. Your journey is not accidental, it is intelligently guided. The relationships you lost were part of your awakening. The opportunities that slipped away made space for better ones. The dreams that took longer forced you to grow stronger. Divine timing was working in every moment, even the painful ones, because your soul needed certain lessons, certain expansions, certain awakenings before stepping into the life you're destined for. Everything is unfolding for you, not against you. And when you truly embrace this truth, worry loses its power, fear loses its grip, doubt dissolves, because you realize that nothing meant for you can ever pass you by. You begin to trust the slow seasons, you begin to appreciate the waiting, you begin to honor the process, you begin to see that your journey has always been guided by a higher intelligence. This is where surrender becomes your greatest strength. When you stop fighting life, life stops fighting you. When you stop resisting the timing begins to work in your favor. When you release the need to control every detail, those details start aligning effortlessly. The universe has always known the perfect moment. And that moment will arrive when your inner world matches the vibration of your desire. You are not late. You are not behind. You are exactly on track for the timeline your soul agreed to long before you arrived here. The breakthroughs you seek are already on their way. The right people are already being aligned with you. The opportunities are already forming. The healing is already happening. The growth is already unfolding. And the blessings are already preparing to enter your life. Your only job now is to stay aligned, to stay open, and to trust deeply. Trust that everything you desire is moving toward you. Trust that the universe has your back. Trust that divine timing is not just a concept, it is a universal law. It never fails because it cannot fail. What is meant for you will always find you. It will arrive gently, powerfully, and at the perfect moment. Your moment is coming. Your breakthrough is coming. Your alignment is happening. And when it arrives, you will understand why it took this long. You will see that every step was sacred. Every delay was protection. Every struggle was preparation. Everything was unfolding for you perfectly all along.